I have crossed an ocean for 30 years, is this truly the end? My name is Green Sea Turtle, a wandering soul adrift in the ocean. Traveling hundreds of thousands of kilometers in a lifetime. Just to return to the place where I was born. From darkness to the light of arrival, from solitude to homecoming. From my mother to my mother's mother, generation after generation, we have walked the same path. This is Rain Island, in the northeastern coast of Australia. A 1,000-year ocean journey is about to unfold once more. The beach appears desolate on the surface, but beneath the sand, tens of millions of lives have already quietly awakened. 2 months ago, my mother tucked me into this soft bed of sand, then turned and returned to the sea. In the endless darkness and waiting, my hundreds of brothers and sisters and I made a silent pact about the future, until one afternoon, stirred awake by the tap of raindrops. A collective stir rose from deep beneath the sand, and that long dormant pact finally found its echo breaking through. We lifted our heads almost in the same instant, with our flippers still slick with egg fluid, and began to dig upward. It was not a blind struggle, but the first act of cooperation in our lives. I lift you, you push against it, 30 centimeters of sand. Not exactly short, not exactly long, yet it was the first trial this world set before us. It turns out, the first lesson life handed us was called togetherness. The sea breeze carried the first blessing, but also brought the angel of death circling overhead. Above the sand was no free world as we had imagined, but a battlefield of life and death, full of danger. Yellow-billed kites, crocodiles, and ghost crabs, all predators, lurked in the shadows, waiting for their moment to strike. This 100-meter stretch of beach was the first gauntlet life put us through. Shadows swept past again and again, companions vanished one by one, they did not even have time to feel the warmth of the ocean, and were lost to a survival rate of 1 in 1,000. The later we left, the more predators circled overhead. I gathered my courage and took the very first steps of my life. And the most daring ones I would ever take. This was a gamble played with life itself. The direction of the wind was the only guide, and the cold crashing waves were the final destination. The destination was right there within sight, yet felt impossibly out of reach. Every lucky escape brought me one step closer to the ocean. All around me were tens of thousands of souls sharing the same fate. We used our numbers to fight back against the rules of survival. As wave after wave of tiny figures surged toward the ocean, the fragility of the individual found shelter within the tide of the collective. The 1 in 1,000 among us earned our way into the sea. The ocean welcomed us, but never promised to be gentle. It gave us vastness, and also laid before us trial after trial. Blacktip reef sharks prowled the shallows with hesitation. These long-reigning rulers had enormous appetites, and even those who had already been granted more than enough luck had no guarantee of escaping this time. I paddled frantically with my awkward limbs. The violent, churning currents made it impossible to control my body. Predators have no mercy in their eyes, and they would give us no chance to catch our breath in a moment of desperation. I tucked in my limbs and blindly scrambled onto the shark's slippery head. Its powerful thrust became the very wave that launched me to safety. Shaking off the predators of the shallows, I swam toward the embrace of the deep blue. Only then did I understand, it is not the hero who survives, but rather the one who survives becomes the hero. The decades-long voyage that lay ahead of me would all unfold, ripple by ripple, from this very moment. After swimming non-stop for over 70 kilometers without rest, that shimmering golden figure finally drifted into view. This was the gift of the Ocean Mother, bestowed upon all wanderers as a lifeline. Within it lived countless lives just like mine, small and insignificant. We were like passengers brought together by fate, aboard the same vessel, sheltering one another beneath the shade, bound by survival, building a fragile sense of direction through each other's vigilance. For the very first time, I surrendered to the current, giving myself over completely to the warm embrace of the flow, letting it carry me northward, adrift.